It is the Mosley Show, and our daily foray into everything Cowboys, free agency, what the Cowboys are doing, what they're not doing. Kevin is our free agent. He's monitoring everything, and Kev, keep your eye on those Cowboys. What
Yeah,
happens is it's kind of like a
they seem to be doing very, very, very a lot of things. Jerry said he was going to break the bank and go after people, and here we sit.
Well, now he's, and there's still things that could happen, and there's still people they could trade for. They certainly, the Rashawn Gary thing, and then yesterday they did get a starting safety in Jalen Thompson, so we can't act like they didn't do anything. I
Right.
think it's
But
just that.
you
Hold
know
on
who's
one
doing a
second.
lot.
Hold on one second. I do know who's doing a lot, but let me stay with the Cowboys for a second because um, I I think what really drives people nuts is that you hear all these people say Nakobe Dean. I know why that is. It's because, and even who's the pass rusher from the Eagles, Jalen Phillips. It's because the Cowboys now have the guy that's been with the Eagles. He was their pass game coordinator, and so it made sense the Cowboys would be looking at people from their defense, and they're not landing these people. Now, again, there's somebody that got signed by the Panthers, and it's who I just mentioned. I think it was Phillips. Got like some kind of like 80 million guaranteed. That's like $100 million deal. Like, I think that's crazy. Now, Panthers may end up loving it. They may end up. So I think there he is. There he is. We were talking about his Purdue connections or making that up. And by the way, I for our Baylor audience, I am monitoring. Kevin is too. We've got the game on. I'm distracted right now. Bears are trying to climb back in this thing. Bobby Hurley's probably going to be fired after this season, Arizona State coach, but the guy keeps winning late in the season, and he's really separated from the Bears for much of this game. Baylor got within about 5 fairly late in the first half, and then watched Arizona State get it back up to 9. Right now, they trail 65-56 with 8 minutes to go. And mercifully, this season should come to an end soon. Have cut it to 7. Bears have cut it to 7 with 8 minutes left in the game. I got to say, Kev, this used to be I used to love going to this tournament. One of the issues with this tournament over the years was that Baylor just didn't care too much about the tournament. And that's not a horrible thing. A lot of it was that Baylor was so good that they just didn't need the tournament that much. In fact, the rest would always help them more than playing several games in the tournament. So Scott just did not put a huge priority on doing well in this tournament. Well, now they're almost like one of those mid-major teams that desperately needs to win the whole thing. And again, they're trying to rally in the second half, and God love Tunde Yesufu. He's playing his rear off, but again, as I say this, Kev, now the Bears have cut it to 5 with 7 minutes to go. So who knows? Maybe they'll pull this off. I had thought about having Scott on if we could. So if they won, we try to have Scott on after the game. And then, most of this game, that has not looked like anything we need to worry about. And now Bobby Hurley's called timeout. Bears on a 8-2 run in the last 2 minutes to get this thing to 67-62. We'll keep you up to date. Kevin, you'll love this. I've been in touch with Kevin Connors, who's hosting the Big 12 with the Big 12 tournament for ESPN. Now, in typical ESPN form, Kev, after Thursday, so they'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday will be the semifinals. Saturday is the final. On Friday, they'll send in like the ESPN game day and like Bigfoot everybody I mean, it's just so. It's what they do. It's what they do. But Kevin Connors is he's just the greatest guy. He does such an incredible job with ESPN. And so, Kev, I was trying to figure out how we would have him on because these games are like 11:30 to late every day. Like today, tomorrow, and even Thursday, there's some games that. So it's kind of hard to jam him in to get him in on our show with all those games being played. Now, here's what I decided, though. We'll get Kevin on because he understands the mid-majors and has like a website and stuff where he talks about mid-majors a lot. So when we get the brackets Monday, we'll get him on Monday. And I've been in touch. We were supposed to tape something with A&M's coach this morning. Kev, I noticed he was on. Bucky McMillan was on Barstool this morning. I'm like, why is he not on the Mosley Show? And they canceled our 11:30 taping with Bucky yesterday. And I don't know, Kevin, it's been a crazy night. I was I got a family member who's going through some stuff. It's pretty amazing that she's able to do this. I've got my grandmother. I know I'm kind of old to have a grandmother still living, but I love that. She will soon turn 103. And yesterday she got a new pacemaker. But for various reasons, it's all hands on deck. My sister's helping. Last night was my night to be at the hospital and stay overnight with my grandmother. And that was an adventure. Let's just say, Kev, at age 102, she has not lost there's some things she's lost. The ability to let people know when she needs something and she's not feeling right, she still has that ability in spades. All right. So that led to a very late evening for me. So I am now working on about 2 days with no sleep. But we'll keep working right on through the show today. And Kevin, as we speak, the Bears somehow making a little run here. The old Baylor Bears in the Big 12 tournament. Baylor versus Arizona State. Arizona State leads 67-62 with about 7 minutes left. And Scott is what I love is even in a trying, awful season, he is way into this thing. He's over there screaming and hitting people in the rear. I think that was Ron Sanchez, the assistant coach. Baylor just cut it to 5, and Scott just hauled off and took a big shot, spanked him. So got a lot going on there. Kevin does not love this floor. What I don't understand, Kevin, is like this is the court we're talking about, the Big 12 court.
Yeah.
I cannot. By the way, this has to be the worst defensive rebounding team in the country. They cannot get a defensive rebound. It's just the thought of blocking somebody out and getting a defensive rebound eludes this team, and it is extremely frustrating to watch. Now, Kevin, they're playing on the Big 12 LED glass court. I've got the interesting thing is from a TV viewing standpoint is like when you go back from break, there's all this like LED crazy light changes they can make.
Yeah.
Court. Some of that kind of looks cool, I have to admit. And there's all these red lasers going around the 3-point line. Some of that kind of looks interesting to me.
Yeah.
But apparently, what is it you hate about this?
Okay, so like just right now, we're gonna watch a free throw, and if it goes in, like the free throw lane like does this little like blue, like it's a video game, and
yeah.
I'm okay.
It didn't
with
go
that.
in. Thank goodness.
I know it didn't go in.
But by the way, Baylor's got to cut this. Baylor has a chance.
Got to score
to cut
here.
This thing to 3 or to
just
2
under 6.
here.
Kick out.
Don't say it because don't say what you see, Kev, because you're a little bit ahead of me. Okay.
All right.
You let me do any sort of play-by-play, which is illegal. I'll take care of. And the Bears did get a follow shot. They're good offensive rebounders. They're horrific at defensive rebounds. And the Bears have cut this thing to 3 with a 10-2 run over the last 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And thank goodness Arizona State's missing some free throws and everything. But again, I know this will shock you, Kevin, but Baylor did once again. They cannot get a defensive rebound. Now in that case, they made a nice interior pass. Arizona State did. Now I do want to try to take care of our. Oh my gosh. This is difficult, and Kevin, this is why I was.
This is a little entertaining for me because I'm seeing what you're seeing
earlier
before
than
you
I
see
am.
it.
Yeah,
so I know what's coming.
And I just hate seeing the Bears miss a wide open 3 that would have cut the deficit to 2. Okay, the dream may have just ended. Bears now have fallen back down to 8 with a 3-pointer. The Baylor women got a double bye and then promptly went up there and just checked out immediately. They lose to Colorado. And I guess the positive spin on that is, well, maybe they can get some rest. But, it's a long time until they play. Ooh, I can't. I can just barely even observe this. We do need to talk about so we're not going to have Bucky McMillan, the A&M coach, on today. At least they're trying. Kev, it's kind of like dating, like back in the day, if someone was really elusive or wouldn't call you back or wouldn't, then it would just make you try even harder, which now we have stalking laws against that type of thing, I feel like. But, the playing the elusive thing that made, well, the SID at A&M has not been, I have over the years, fortunately, have gotten to know a lot of folks. Well, this younger group of SIDs, Kevin, they did not grow up like reading my stuff on ESPN.com or listening to me in Dallas. Unfortunately, we've lost a generation. So the old A&M SID for basketball did grow up and was a big fan of mine. And so we had a great end there. This young woman could care less about whatever Mosley did in his past. But I stayed after it, and we were going to get we were going to get Buckyball on today. And unfortunately, she canceled last night. She canceled. So we'll stay with it and we'll try to get him. But even the guy that used to be at A&M basketball, Kevin, was laughing about this because he was like, man, if she had have just heard you over the years talk about the Cowboys, this would not, he said she would have Bucky on with you a weekly guest. She would have him on every day. So, which is funny. Okay, Kev, the Bears, sadly, to keep our Bears audience up to date, and they're probably all watching it, but the Bears have the bottom came out and they missed some open threes and they've given up some shots and now they're down by 10. They cut it to 3 and then they have checked out. Now they're known for their late crazy comebacks, but I just don't think it's going to work out today, as the Bears have now fallen to 74-64 with 3 minutes to go in this game. And Kev, there's 3 minutes to go in this season. I have to tell you, I don't want them to play in the NIT. The final record's going to be whatever it is, 16-16, or they're going to be right around 500. And while I really enjoy watching Cam Carr, I enjoy watching Tunde, Isaac Williams, Caden Powell. There's a lot of players on this team I kind of like. But, the thought of, watching them in the NIT, a team, a program that has been as great as the Bears, I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I think part of me wants them to turn down the NIT and move on. Everybody move on with their lives and start focusing on the portal and everything that's to come. All right. Because the rest of America will now focus on the NCAA tournament. Kevin, I just don't see I don't see now, Kevin, I did see, talking about Kevin Hoosier Hall here, I did see that the Lenardi came out with his bracketology today, and your Indiana Hoosiers are still last four in this NCAA tournament. Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand it.
Well, I mean, we talked about how everyone who needed to win lost, and they were in before that. So I don't.
Maybe that's it. What are their biggest? What are their biggest wins? What are their biggest wins? Wisconsin. Who else?
Wisconsin at home on a weird call. UCLA on the road on a weird call, and Purdue at home when they got blown out when they went to Mackey.
Those are all.
That's it.
Those are all quad ones, right?
But they lost to Northwestern at home late in the season.
I know.
So we said that from our perspective, you can check out our full report on this, but we said in the Big Ten tournament, we think they need to win 3 games to have a shot. That would be either Northwestern, Penn State,
You're
Purdue,
wrong. I think you're wrong
Nebraska.
because they're the last 4 in. So you're asking them to do too much.
I'm asking it to guarantee a spot because
right.
they're going to play a lesser team in Penn State or Northwestern, Purdue, who they've already split the series with, and Nebraska, who they had a lead on till late in the game at home and then lost it early in the season.
All right, I do have some good news for Baylor people as they watch the Bears. And the next game, by the way, in the Big 12 tournament will be Cincinnati and Utah. I mean, I'm a huge hoops fan. I can't really muster much energy for that. I mean, I literally think I'd go walk the dog or something before I would watch those teams play. But here's what I can say about Baylor. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not. There is a hire that they are thinking about making that I think would be a great hire. And it's in the. I think it would help not only on the bench, not only from, getting to be around this person for the players, but just from a personnel standpoint, recognizing, knowing NIL budgets, knowing how to manage all that, knowing where to look for the players, portal, NIL, talking to the agents, talking to I think that Baylor is, and I think this guy is, I know who they're trying to get. And I think it would be awesome. I just think it would be a tremendous addition for the Bears. And he's a legacy Bear. He played for the Bears. I'm hearing it a lot. And so I think there's a great chance. And so I'm going to think about this and decide, part of this is I just don't want to jinx it. So I was sitting here thinking, do I want to throw out his name or not? I'll just tell you that it really would be helpful to the Bears. And I just think from a personnel standpoint, and this person has had some NBA experience, knows how to deal with agents. I mean, just really has a lot going for him. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I think help is on the way for the Bears. I also think the new AD, Doug McNamee, is hell-bent on, getting Scott as much as possible. What this has to be, it's going to be money's fueling this thing, but it has to be a better approach. It has to be a better approach to how to, put a team together, how to build a roster. And they're looking at, and again, money is still a huge part of this, but it's not the only part. You've got to put it in the right places. You've got to spend it in the right places. And we saw it this year. I mean, they put a bunch of money into Michael Ratai, and it didn't work. And then they tried the Najee thing, and they got all this attention, and everybody got mad, and he can't even get on the court now. Again, that was a flyer. I don't really fault them for trying to do something there, but that didn't work either. So I would say Dan Skillings and Mike Ratai, enjoyed having them around, seemed like good people. But again, it would have been nice. They would have been nice players like off the bench. But, Baylor had to kind of, the way it ended with the injuries and Rob leaving and all that, they ended up needing those guys to play much larger roles than they needed to play. And they just completely misevaluated Michael Ratai. All right. I mean, one person I'm told was trying to compare him and say he was Baylor's next Jeremy Sohan. Come on now. Come on. I mean, you can't, that's a whiff. That's a huge whiff. I mean, Jeremy Sohan ended up being a lottery pick for the San Antonio Spurs. All right. Jeremy Sohan was not like some diaper dandy McDonald's All-American, but once Jonathan Chama got hurt and Jeremy got even more playing time, he became a monster on the defensive end, the way he initiated offense, the way he passed the ball, even from a scoring standpoint. He could do it all. And it's a real shame that somebody thought Michael Ratai was that guy. Again, it's just and Scott has to be the ultimate. He has to take the ultimate blame on that. All right. I mean, it's so I don't want this to be like, I'm trying to call somebody out. Scott needs to take the ultimate blame here. But hey, there's changes on the way, and I do think Baylor's going to get help in terms of how they are able to. Okay, here comes Kev. Here comes the frantic final push from the Bears, down by 9 with 1:40 to go. Oh, and that's when Obi Agba decided to get his first three. He was 1 for 8 today, and he just hit his first three to cut it to 9. But there's only about a minute. There's only 1:36 left. Bears down. They need a miracle. A miracle is probably not coming. So love that Scott's doing everything in the world, and he's not giving up. But this season is quickly coming to an end. Cowboys, let me just say this, Kev, and then we'll get to Campus Confidential here in a minute. And then 2:30 today, Pete Souza is going to join us from an airport somewhere. He's going in to call the American Athletic Conference tournament, and he's landing, and he's kind enough to jump on with us. And so we're going to visit with him a little bit. Cowboys do get the safety Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals. Listen, he can play the safety spot. He can come up and play against the run, actually. He's a good tackler. He even can play the nickel. What he is, Kev, is a very versatile player, and that's what they need. That Christian Parker, the new defensive coordinator, that is what they're looking for. And as the Bears cut it to 7 with 1:25 left, the frantic Bears comeback, it has started. It has started. They just got called for a foul. I like him. I do like him. The deal is like 3 years, $33 million. I think it could be as much as $36 million. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I think he's a pretty good player. I mean, you got a starting safety. I mean, you got Malik Hooker and Jalen Thompson. Now, if some incredible safety falls to you in the draft, I don't think that makes you not take a safety. I think right now you're probably having to think linebacker because they did not, they got Rashawn Gary, the edge rusher, but in terms of off the ball linebacker, which is what they need to go with DeMarvion Overshown, they didn't get Nakobe Dean. They didn't, and we read yesterday on social media that, well, they tried. They went after Nakobe Dean. They went after this guy. They had an interest in whoever. I mean, there was the guy Boyd Mafe. How do you say his name? Mafe from Seattle. I mean, it's just everybody. They made a try for this guy. They made a try for that guy. Listen, nobody cares. Nobody cares that they tried hard. The old try hard Cowboys. I mean, it's just not. It's not something anybody particularly cares about. They came close. Oh, they did all they could to get this guy. What that is people inside the building trying to get it out there. Hey, we're trying. We're doing our best. Well, you didn't. Let me tell you who, and again, I'm not saying the team that spends the most is always the winner in free agency, okay? But they're losing these battles to the daggum Raiders. All right? All this talk, Christian Parker, all these guys want to come play for him. The Nakobe Dean, who apparently they liked, and we've been hearing them connected to him the whole time. What did he do in the end? He picked the Raiders. Well, did they give him more money? I mean, maybe. I don't know what the Cowboys' offer was, but I think the Cowboys were right there close. Who do they have? Who do the Raiders have? That the Cowboys. I mean, they got Clint Kubiak as their head coach. They got Tom Brady involved in the organization. I mean, like, what? Why can't the Cowboys seem to outdo the Raiders? I mean, it was rough. It was rough. They did not get the the linebacker that they needed or were seeking. And so Nakobe Dean, there were other players they were looking at. Remember, Trey Hendrickson, we're still waiting to see what happens with him. That's the only sort of big money edge player out there. Kev, I think I saw where I was trying to remember. I saw another player. Oh, where'd Oweh go? Oweh, because he was one sort of nice player that I had an interest in, but he's gone now. I mean, the way the tampering, the legal tampering deal works, that first day it opens up, man, teams are just racing out there. They're getting deals done left and right. Now, again, the Cowboys have the 12th pick. They've got the 20th pick in the draft. They'll be okay. All right. Yes, there he is. Oweh ends up with the Commanders. I like this player. I did, and I think he offers quite a bit on the edge. I think he can get after the quarterback. I just liked him, and Commanders end up with him. Cowboys did a deal yesterday to keep a player. They kept Sam Williams, but again, what for $3 million or whatever? I mean, go throw a parade. It was not a banner day. It was not a bad day. I mean, Rashawn Gary, like, I would have been jazzed had they landed Max Crosby, but was it worth giving up the 12th and the 12th and 20th picks in the draft and whatever player you would have had to send over, or even the 12th pick and next year's one? I don't think so. He's a great player, but all you would have been doing is going, you know what? We didn't get Micah. We didn't get that deal done. So we got everything we could for him. So then we took all of that and we traded it for a guy like Micah. Do I think that Max Crosby is better than Micah? Well, he's better at some things. I would say he's always going to end up with more tackles for loss. He had 28 tackles for loss last year. He's remarkable, but he's not. But Micah, in my mind, is more lethal and harder to block. Is a better pure pass rusher than Max Crosby. Again, you can talk about the numbers and go, well, Max does this and Micah did this. As far as a pure pass rusher, I prefer Micah Parsons. Maybe as an all-around edge rusher, I could see an argument for Max Crosby. But I think the Cowboys are fine. It's just, it's kind of like baseball. You know, there's always this thought that, like, well, people don't want to come to Texas because of the heat. And I think some of that was true with the this is so great. Baylor just got a steal, Kev, and it looked like they were going to have a chance to cut the game to 4 with 20 seconds left. They are the best in the country at these crazy last second comebacks, but they now trail 83-76 with 20 seconds left. All right. So again, my biggest news for you Baylor fans, Baylor basketball fans, is that help could be on the way. I don't know if they're going to get this thing done or not, but the guy that they are interested in is someone who I think would help immensely. And I assume his name is showing up on message boards. I got to make sure. I don't want to, I want to be responsible in how I approach this, but I think this guy would be a huge help to the program. Because they not only do they need more NIL money, but let's treat this major illness, which is horrible Jeremy Roach signing, and then horrible Michael Ratai, all right, in the portal. And that's without all these injuries and the Rob Wright and all that stuff. But that is what needs to be dealt with. The old Bears doing everything they can, but it's finally, the dream is over. There's 9 seconds left. They trail by 7. God love them. They do work and try as hard as any team in the country. But in the end, they could not even take out. They were the 13 seed in this Big 12 tournament. Arizona State, the 12 seed, will knock out the Bears. And the offseason can get started, and the Bears can try to flip the script and get back to being the Baylor program that we loved all these years. I was hoping to see, no, it's not going to happen. Bears desperately trying to, I don't know if this has anything to do with Vegas, but I think the Bears just got fouled. 1.9 seconds left, and the Bears have a chance to cut it to 4 with 1.9 seconds left. So there you go. There you go, Bears. Season coming to an end. We'll have more on, and one thing I want to do, Kevin, when we get to 2 o'clock, and this is before we get Pete on, I want to show what some of these other teams have done. We now know where Tua is. That's going to be interesting. We now know where we're going to look at the Raiders. The Raiders.
We also know where Geno Smith is going to be.
Has that just happened?
Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of stuff happening while you just talking about Baylor.
Oh, well, I don't know if you don't have to put it like that. Like,
well, I mean, you're talking about a game that's been over for a little bit, but you know, the hope is what kills us.
Buddy, I'm talking about the main thing. Maybe you didn't get this. Is I'm talking about the future of Baylor basketball. I've tried to keep it on that. I think I stopped talking about the game mostly about 10 minutes ago. All right. But please leave your comments in the comments box on the way out. Kev, we'll update everybody and we'll do some Campus Confidential. I tell you what, let's update everybody when we come back. Here's what we'll do. we'll get everybody updated on the NFL stuff, and then we'll do that. And then at early in the 2:00 hour, we'll get into some Campus Confidential. We'll do all that next.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
All right, I will be. We've got the big Brazos Landing live show coming up, and let's not forget about that. That will be March 18th, so a week from tomorrow. John will do a special edition of the John Morris Show, 12 to 1, and then of course I'll be 1 to 3. And come by, see us out there. We'll have a good time, and I think you'll enjoy it. We'll be getting you ready for the tournament the next day, and we'll have a lot to talk about. You know, I love going out there to Brazos Landing, and we'll talk more about that as the week unfolds, and that is, of course, next week. And I did want to remind you that the longest running card show in Central Texas, Texas Sports Hall of Fame Collectors Show, that's March 20th and 21st at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. Come meet former Pittsburgh Steeler Greg Hawthorne and former San Antonio Spur Alvin Robertson on Friday. Saturday, former Cowboys great Mel Renfro. Wow. I mean, that is huge. Beasley Reese, he's big too. And Baylor great Lake Seastrunk, all the way from Temple, Texas. Show hours are Friday, 11 a.m. till 5, and then Saturday from 9 till 4. For more information, visit theautographsync.com. Now, Kev, bring us up to date as I've been monitoring. I mean, you were making fun of it, but this huge Baylor basketball game, which has just ended, the Bears lose. 83-79. They played it all the way out. They gave it their best. But the season has mercifully come to an end unless Kevin, they accept an NIT bid. Please don't.
The not-important tournament.
Please don't. Well, I mean, I'm sure the people who participate and plan that thing think it's plenty important. Kevin is at 2:00, a little after 2. We'll do some Campus Confidential. Pete Souza is going to join us. He's going to land at the airport soon. He's got a game a tournament he's calling, American Athletic Conference. But we're going to talk some Big 12 and free agency and everything with Pete at about 2:30. And he's kind enough to land and then give us a call. Kev, while I was talking about Baylor basketball, what all has gone down NFL-wise?
All right. Romeo Doubs has now signed with the Patriots.
Okay.
And so he will be kind of replacing Stephon Diggs, kind of in that role, you would assume. And where is Geno Smith going to play next year? He is actually returning to the place that drafted him to be the Jets' new quarterback, at least for the time being.
What do the Jets pick? What is their pick?
2.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that seems a little too steep to get Ty Simpson. And so they probably, if they do take a quarterback, they would take. Now, the Jets have a couple of picks first round. I'm just trying to think who all has.
Yes.
Okay.
You know why? Sauce Gardner trade with the Colts.
Yes. So they could take Ty Simpson with that next pick.
Yeah, but still, that's, I think, in the mid to late teens. So that's still maybe a little rich for Ty Simpson. But
quarterbacks, they get shoved up there because of the desperate need for them. And so that would make sense for them not to have to start Ty Simpson. Geno would be a good placeholder. And the man who sat in that green room for way too long, poor old Geno, I've seen him do it before. I think I was there with Geno, now that I think about it, however long ago that was, because I think that happened at Radio City Music Hall. But Geno would have been playing against the old Baylor Bears for West Virginia. He and Nick Florence squared off in one of the craziest games in the history of college football. I think the two of them passed for somewhere around like 1,300 yards and probably, 20 touchdowns or whatever it was, 16 touchdowns. And he gets drafted. He falls to the second round. And I believe he was like number 36 overall. That's the name. That's the number that sticks in my head. And Geno was finally taken, and now he returns to the old New York Jets. I would say Geno had his Sam Darnold moment with Seattle. Had kind of he banged around for a while and didn't really do much, and then suddenly had a little time with Pete Carroll. Had a couple of years. Pretty good play, pretty good quarterback play in the post-Russell Wilson era of Seattle Seahawks football. And then this past year goes to Vegas, and it was a disaster on every front. Wasn't just his fault, but, who's he supposed to? He's got that great tight end, and that's about it. What's he supposed to do with that? I think he threw for 17 interceptions, 19 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, had a rough season, and that's how you end up back with the New York Jets. And so that has happened. Kev, what else do you have for me? Tua. Tua to the Falcons. And this is an interesting one because you have, you've got Penix. You bring in another lefty. You're loading up with the lefties. This guy has way more experience, really, than Penix, and he's got way more, good football. He is as much as I'm not a huge Tua fan. I mean, the Dolphins just 2 years ago gave him some kind of insane contract. All right. They gave him well over $100 million. Did he get $100 million guaranteed? I promise he did. So he goes to the Falcons, and quite honestly, Kev, when you talk about Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitts and the rest of that gang, I mean, that's kind of an exciting place to end up. Now, I don't know who starts. Do you go with the guy who has a few more skins on the wall, or do you go with the guy that you spent a top 10 draft pick on? Now, the people who drafted Michael Penix are gone. They have exited stage left. That would be Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot. Does that sound right, Kev? That's a name that's in my head for whatever reason. I think that's right. Terry Fontenot. But all of those people are gone. So nobody left on the ground says, oh, we've got to play this guy. Oh, we've got to play Penix. Kev, where is my man Kirk Cousins? Have we had a Kirk Cousins landing yet?
No, we haven't. The latest rumor I heard was that he was going to be maybe the fallback for if Aaron Rodgers decided not to come back to the Steelers.
If for some reason Danny Dimes, is not ready to go at the beginning of this next season, or something happens to Danny in his return, who would start for the Colts?
As of right now, they currently have two quarterbacks other than that on the roster. That would be Anthony Richardson, who has asked for a trade,
yes,
and Riley Leonard, who put up the most amount of points in one half against the Houston defense last year. It was the last of the season, but during that first half, he put up 17 points against mostly still their starting defense at that point in the game.
Fueling, I'm sure, many talks among Colts podcasters. The excitement of what Riley Leonard could bring, the former number 13 for both Duke and Notre Dame. And now, honestly, in my mind, when I see Riley Leonard, that Colts uniform it's a little bit like the Duke colors. So that's kind of a good.
And now with Daniel Jones, that's two Duke quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah. So interesting things going on in the NFL. We needed to talk about Tua, and what will happen is, Kev, what we do is we talk about, oh my gosh, it's horrible. Our buddy, Tua, concussions, poor play, awful with the Dolphins. And I promise you, by the time we get out of training camp, we'll have Tua as some sort of all-world quarterback with Atlanta. Oh my gosh, he's flipped the script. Oh, he's got his confidence back. He feels great. He's immediately become a leader there. Oh, they love him. Oh, he and Drake London went to hung out and over in with the beach. They went to the beach in California and Los Angeles and trained together. Oh my gosh, I just promise you that will all start happening. And nobody gets their image rehabbed like an NFL quarterback who has ever done like anything, right? All it took for Daniel Jones is to go to the Colts and kind of get off to a good start. And then what that did is remind everybody that, oh, wait, he had that one good year with the Giants. He had that one playoff run with the Giants where they thought he was really good. And now everybody in Colts land thinks he's really good. He's not. But if you put the little man, Alec, out there racing around, and you put Michael Pittman Jr., and you put all these guys around him, you can.
Pitt's gone now.
He's certainly, well, I know, but I'm talking about
But if you have a running game like Jonathan Taylor,
I know I was going to name them all, but I realize I cannot bring up anything about the Colts without you piping up, which I'm fine with. I like having a good Colts resource on the show. Kev, what else do we have? What other news do we have today that we need to hit NFL-wise?
today, all right, so we can hit on the other team from Texas because they, speaking of Colts, signed former Colts right tackle Braden Smith in free agency to pair with yesterday's huge signing of Reed Blankenship to their already deep secondary. And they made Kamimi Fairbairn the highest paid kicker now in the NFL.
I think we just call him Kai. I think
All
that's
right.
what most people do. Yeah. I like whatever you said, but I hear him referred to as Kai. What was the money on that? Because this obviously now plays a role in Brandon Aubrey and how Aubrey
Was,
I would love to have a kicker holdout. We do not have enough kicker holdouts in this world. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
It
They
was
put this- yeah.
2 years, $13 million. I believe Aubrey now has a second round tender. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That sound right? Okay. Thought I saw that.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't preclude them from getting a higher deal done. But this is good. I mean, you were kind of using this to almost not Jerry. I think this is good for Jerry. This kind of puts a little market there. Jerry's excited because it wasn't like some huge deal. 2 years, $13 million. That doesn't really scare anybody. I mean, that averages out, if I'm doing my math correct, about 6.5. About 6.5 a year. Jerry can totally handle that. Second round tender was like 5.7 or 6 or something like that. So where they come in at is 7 a year. 7 a year. Now, I think to honor the great Aubrey, who's wanting 10. Now they say no, and they have shot that down a little bit, but I kind of think that's kind of right. I think they're sitting there wanting $10 million a year. I think the Cowboys are not really wanting to offer. They were really trying to keep it under 7 if they could. Take care of this man. Take care of this man and give him 2 years, 15, or 3 years, 22, 23, something like that. 3 years, 23. Take care of him. Give him something that looks appreciably better than Fairbairn or whatever we call our man Kai. Give him, if Kai's going to get 2 years, $13 million, give Aubrey 2 years, 16 or 17 million. He deserves that. He absolutely deserves that. He's a huge weapon. Don't try to do the whole he's a kicker, he's a kicker. And quite honestly, we've spent way too much time talking about kickers. All right. I mean, we never talk about punters, right? Never talk about long snappers, although we kind of did the other day, didn't we? I think we were just talking about how many long snappers Baylor has had. Now, Kev, is there any other one you wanted to highlight? Is there any other position? Who is the second? Oh, offensive line wise, I thought the most interesting was that. Kevin, can you throw up that Raiders graphic? I just kind of want to see the biggest ones. Yeah, and I'm gonna put my glasses on for this. Again, I'm not saying the Raiders are going to have a rookie quarterback. I mean, a really good, exciting rookie quarterback, but I don't think they spent like drunken sailors. I mean, the Cowboys, I think, liked Quay Walker more than even Nakobe Dean. They like both of them, quite honestly. I think they're both players from Georgia. They're going to end up playing next to each other with the Raiders. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, the 1 year, $11 million one interests me. Malcolm, they're the defensive end that they got for 1 year, $11 million. I like some of these 1 year deals. Now, what I don't love is what I've seen from some people, like the one that Daniil got for the Texans. Kev, wasn't it something crazy, like 1 year, $40 million?
40 million, yeah. Which is weird now because now you got to think Trey Hendrickson sees that and goes, well, I want that.
I think he's tired
right?
of
And
so
then I wondered that you were talking about, what the Cowboys are doing. I'm wondering, you get rid of Micah, weirdly, and then you miss out on Max, and now are you willing to trade a 26-year-old, 25 at the time, Micah Parsons for a 31-year-old Trey Hendrickson and have to pay just as much, maybe?
No. So Hendrickson's just out there free. I don't think they would pay just as much. I know what you're saying. You would think he would get a lot of money, but generally, this is not like baseball. Baseball, I used to wait, and then it's like, oh, Prince Fielder, okay, we waited a few weeks or whatever. Now let's go get him for this huge price. Football, a lot of times, NFL, it's that if you don't get caught up in that first wave of huge deals, your market might not be that huge. Daniil Hunter is about Hendrickson's age. Do I have that right, Kevin? I think both those guys are around 30 or 31 years old. So Daniil gets $40 million for 1 year. The thing I hate for Hendrickson is he got so sick of those he just did not like he did not feel respected and loved by the Bengals. The 1 year deal is not respected and loved. That's not what they, I don't think that's what Hendrickson want. Now he may have to do it. But the problem is, even if you have a great season, then it's not like they then go, oh, well, now we'll give you your long-term deal. There's just not a lot of 32 and 33-year-old guys getting the long-term deal. I'm interested, Kev, what did Reed Blankenship get? There's another Christian Parker guy. That right there lands 3 years.
He's a safety.
Hold on. Okay, I've got the number. Oh, okay. But I do want to hear what you have to say, but hold on. Let me just give the number real quick.
Yep.
3 years, $24.75 million. It includes $16.5 million guaranteed. This one seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Like, why are the Texans, which already has like a unbelievable defense,
especially their secondary.
And this guy is not old. He's 27.
Mm-hmm.
The championship season in 24, they finished first in passing yards allowed and second in opponent points per game. I guess what I'm asking is, like, why didn't the Cowboys do that deal instead of the 3 years, $33 million deal they did with Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals? Are we convinced that Jalen Thompson is better than Reed Blankenship? I'm not. Yes, I like both players, but geez. They said Blankenship this year, Fangio described him as a, quote, stabilizing player in our defense. Over 4 seasons in Philly, 56 games, posting 9 interceptions, 23 pass deflections, and 308 tackles. Is there something I'm missing? Like, why did Jalen Thompson get a better deal with the Cowboys than Reed Blankenship got with the Texans?
Especially when Reed Blankenship's former guy is there with the Cowboys now.
Yeah, and you're right. Now he doesn't do the contracts. That's up to the agent to be asking for all that. That's Kyle McCarthy of Athletes First said Monday. He's the agent on that deal. But man, this was Reed Blankenship's one shot at one bite at the apple. I guess you could be like Minka Fitzpatrick and just keep getting traded and signed for the rest of your life. I feel like I've seen him involved in 3 or 4 different trades. 29 years old. Minka Fitzpatrick ends up in a trade. That one was interesting to me. They 5-time Pro Bowl safety. He goes to the Jets in a trade they did with the Miami Dolphins, and the Jets will send it was a 7th round pick. Now he signed a 3-year, $40 million contract. Would I rather have Reed Blankenship? Think about that. He does a 3-year, $24 million deal at age 27 to go to the Texans. Fitzpatrick at 29 gets 3 years, $40 million. Is he more accomplished over the years? Yes. Am I certain that he's that much of a better player than Reed Blankenship? No. I don't know. Show me.
I would think about it this way also, from a different perspective. From Reed's perspective, or the big money comes from the teams who need you to help turn around things. From Reed's perspective, where does he have the best chance to go win? He's already won 1 Super Bowl.
It's good. Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
As long as C.J. Stroud can hold on to the ball, you picked the only team that you have mentioned that made it to the playoffs last year.
Think about Nakobe Dean. Everybody talks about the Cowboys. They're so great on offense. Just fix the defense, and their Super Bowl window opens, which I never knew it was open or closed or anything. I mean, it's remained closed for about 30 years now, and everybody wants to talk about this window opening, but Nakobe Dean's sitting there to use what you just said, Kev, and he's like, well, let's see. My former coach, team where I'm going to get a lot of attention and great offense, and they need to turn their defense around. Or go to the Raiders. They're pretty much always dreadful. They bumble around, but maybe they're willing to pay me like a tiny bit more. I don't know. I mean, if I'm Nakobe Dean, even though I'm not saying the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders, I would pick the Cowboys over the Raiders anytime. I mean, it's not great that the Cowboys are losing battles to the Raiders. Kev, let's get one more look at the Raiders, please. That Raiders graphic where all the things they did. Their biggest deal was with the center who had been with the Ravens, right? But I'm telling you, there's Tyler Linderbaum. It's just fascinating. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, in a vacuum, separate of some of the, like, here's what this reminds me of. They had a wild spending day that rivals what the Patriots did last season in free agency. Patriots just went to the Super Bowl. The difference is the Patriots, in their wild spending, knew that they had a really great young quarterback. The Raiders, again, Kev, don't take this personally. I love Fernando almost as much as you do. I don't think anybody can love him quite to the extent you do, but I love the kid. I really do. And I'm hoping he has a great NFL career. He's not at this point. I don't think, I mean, maybe he'll prove me wrong, but he's not where Drake May was this past offseason when they made this big shopping spree, because Drake May already had some experience and already was showing, hey, this guy may be really good. Now he's really so good that he could be MVP. Now, I don't know what happened to him in the playoffs, other than he got some horrible weather and he just didn't play that great. Would I rather have Drake May than almost any quarterback in the NFL? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Just because of his longevity. I could make the case for Drake May over almost everybody. Would I rather have him than Justin Herbert? Yes. Would I rather have him than Brock Purdy? Yes. Would I rather have him than Sam Darnold? Yes. Would I rather have him than Joe Burrow? Yes. Would I rather have him than the young quarterback for the Giants from Ole Miss? Yes. So, I thought, Kevin, I would go ahead and just do that. I would show my math on that. But there's almost nobody that I would take over Drake May other than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I might be able to come up with 3 that I would take over Drake May. And it's hard to compare him to Mahomes because he's so much younger and has so much time to play. I think I would take him over Lamar Jackson. I love Lamar, don't get me wrong, but hey, what did his boom mean the other day? Did we ever?
Yeah, so I said on the show on Friday that I thought that meant that they had signed Max Crosby, and then later, while I was at baseball,
they must have tipped him off that they were going to sign.
I'm sure he was involved in that at some point. Yeah, I think Lamar's heavily involved in all of the operations of the Ravens. Let's be honest. So
I'm not. No, I think that's false. I don't think the star quarterbacks. I think maybe he gets tipped off like an hour before it happens. But to think that the star quarterbacks brought into like, what do you think of Max Crosby? Have you looked at? What do you think? Here's some tape of Max Crosby. I think you're wrong on that. All right, let's do some campus before we get Pete. I want to see what you have today. Some Campus Confidential. That's next.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Okay, that was really great for the first time on your own. Let's maybe take a break and then we'll come back and do some more.
Sounds great.
Oh, you're back. That was a fast break.
I know.
Hi, would either of you be able to assist me?
Yes, she'd love to help.
Oh yes, I love assists.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com, that's NORDVPN.com. Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com, Kitbag.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
All right, back to the Mosley Show, and Pete Souza will join us here in a little while, and be good to talk to Pete. Pete is landing as we speak at I think he had like a 2. I think he's going to land at about 2:11, and he's getting ready for that American Conference tournament in Birmingham. I think that's a pretty neat place. I think that'll be kind of fun there. And he'll be calling the games in the American, and that'll be an interesting place for that. And I got a couple of teams in that group that I enjoy visiting with. Okay, let's do some Campus Confidential, and Kev, as we get ready to do that, boy, Kevin, always. I did want to mention, you saw that ad we had, and Thursday we'll do our Schmaltz's trivia question. The Schmaltz. I love the Schmaltz sandwich. That Lake Waco Golf Club. Oh, man. Did you see that new bar and grill, that new area? That pool looks so nice. As it gets into spring, I don't want to scare the people away out by the pool, but I'm probably going to get out there and probably lounge by the pool a little bit, and then I'll probably go play 18, and I plan on having some good times there. I'm told I have a membership. I'm a little scared, Kevin. I might show up like, hey, I'm here. They may say no, but I'm anxious to get out there. The amenities are so nice, and I semi-private, which means to me, Kev, that folks can get on that course that aren't members. But the membership deals, what I'm told, are pretty amazing. So please keep that in mind at Lake Waco Golf Club. And then again, Kevin, a week from tomorrow, we'll be doing a live show at the Brazos Landing. Well, Kevin, you'll be heavily involved in that. And the John Morris show will be at a special time leading into the Mosley Show. And I think John, one of John's
talking over details about it with our team.
John, one of his goals in life, he's told people this, was to open for Mosley someday. All right, it is the Mosley Show. Pete Souza is landing, and will be hopping on with us. We got a couple things to discuss that'll be good. But Kev,
yes.
Let's get into some Campus Confidential. What do you have for me today to react to? Do we have anything new in the NFL, by the way? I love our NFL coverage. I'm told we're people are voting for us for one of the best free agency shows out there.
Nice. It's like Schefter and then us.
It's us and then Schefter.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. Good.
The Patriots. Okay. I do like this though. Their wide receiver room now. Romeo Dobbs.
Yep.
I can't say Dobbs. I'll think about Lou Dobbs. Booty. Kayshawn.
What'd you call me?
He had some moments even in the playoffs. Mac Hollins, who likes to arrive at games shirtless and just
shoeless.
Shoeless, yeah.
Shoeless. He's always shoeless.
I knew it was something weird. Demario Douglas, Kyle Williams, and Efton Chisholm III. Still not great. Still nothing blows me away, but Dobbs certainly had his moments. I mean, I watched Dobbs and company arrive and take down Dak and the Cowboys a few years ago. A young Jordan Love, that team was kind of okay, that young Packers team. and Love showed up at AT&T Stadium, Cowboys thought, "Oh, we'll take this. A little wild card game against the Packer. We're fine. We'll take this. It shouldn't be too tough." Love just carved him up on his way to eventually getting his big quarterback deal there with the Packers. So
Yes.
Romeo Doubs.
I would say Dobbs is more consistent and less of an off-field headache than Stephon Diggs.
Certainly hasn't had the top moments of Diggs' career is well above Romeo's.
Yes.
But to your point, you're not going to like somehow have Cardi. Who is it? Cardi B? Who is?
Oh, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Something like that. One of them.
Always something going on in that realm.
Yeah.
You're even thinking about more football stuff than I am. I mean, there's just a lot going on out there. And some of these guys need to, they in the off season, they get real active out there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, Kev, what do you have in Campus Confidential?
What do you think the chances are that Mark Campbell goes to Florida after they fired Kelly Ray Finley now?
Have you heard anything along those lines, or are you just coming up with this yourself?
I've heard rumblings. I've seen different things that may not be. Of course, nothing is going to come out fully right now because TCU is still going strong, still doing their thing. So this is more of a let's look at piece A and piece B and see.
I mean, it really comes down to do you want to try to continue to run the Big 12? They got beat by West Virginia the other day in the championship. We didn't even mention that. Or do you want to go get your head beat in by Texas, South Carolina, LSU, those three for sure. There might be others I'm not thinking about. I think the answer is pretty easy. If the money's close to the same, stay. Now, I get it. If they're like offering them huge money and they go, tell you what, Mark, we're going to give you $2 million to come here and be the head coach at Florida, Mark's got to think about that. But the thing is, TCU might. I mean, Kim makes probably 2.3 or 2.5 or something at LSU. I guarantee you he doesn't make close to that at TCU. They should get him up to at least 1.2 or 1.5. I think if he threatened to go to Florida, I think they might knock it up a little bit. So,
but I guess my thought, knowing Mark a little bit, isn't this what he does? Other than his time at Oregon, where he was literally waiting to take the program over, and then once he got passed over enough, he decided to go somewhere else, a la Kurt Signetti, take a pay cut and bet on himself. But then he turned around Sac State, and then he turned around TCU. Turning around programs is kind of what he does. Wouldn't this Florida job suit him in that role?
He would be dumb to take it. It's not the typical turnaround. I mean, you're talking about two programs in Sac State and TCU that were left for dead, that were nothing programs. Florida, again, I don't think they've been awful, and also the competition is like way more aggressive than what he faces in the Big 12. It would be a dumb career move. I truly believe that. I'm not so sure. I don't know who's the best coach between those two guys. Like, who are the best coaches in the Big 12 right now? I think it's between those two dudes, Kellogg and Campbell. I'm sorry, ladies. Nikki, love you. Molly, love you. Casey or JC out there at Oklahoma State. I mean, there's some great female coaches. Unbelievable great coaches in this conference. But those two dudes are the best coaches. Mark Campbell and the man I want to call Clark Kellogg. That's not his name. What's his name?
Oh.
Derek Kellogg? What is that guy's name? Mark Kellogg? Maybe Mark. Dang it. I should know it because that guy can flat out coach. At West Virginia, and he's taken Press Virginia. and he's like taking them back to the old press days, like they used to do, the men used to do.
It's
What's
Mark.
the guy's? Okay, I knew if I just kind of set
it's
names.
Mark and Mark. Mark and Mark are the best two coaches then, according to Mosley.
I call him Marky Mark.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else do you have, sir?
How do you think Duke will fare without their point guard Caleb Foster after he fractured his foot now?
He had that surgery. I saw something, Kev, before the show that he has vowed to return this season.
Wow.
He said he's not done. So I would say the soonest we might get a peek at him, he's like the anti-Langston Love. Baylor people will get that. I would say Sweet 16, which they could get there without him. They could get there. He's a great player, but they still have, they still have Cam. Come on, they still have incredible players. I don't know. I would say that's the soonest, though, he would come back. The other guy, I think, is going to be back. He's just going to maybe sit out. He'll sit out. Their big man. What's that guy's name? He's going to sit out the ACC tournament, but he should be ready for the NCAA tournament. Has Baylor accepted an NIT bid yet? Oh, it kills me.
I'm not sure they're thinking about that just yet.
It kills me.
Last one I have for you is, what do you think of Greg Sankey's comments about some members wanting to break away from the NCAA?
Well, Greg still thinks he can kind of work in the parameters. I kind of took that as if there's still thought that the SEC and the Big Ten could almost break away from everybody. And I think Greg doesn't totally want that yet. So I think that I would worry about that more than I would worry about the whole NCAA thing. I think right now the focus is more on how can we get some congressional help here? Can this thing we did with the president, can that help at all? I think the focus is more on that stuff than are we going to break away from the NCAA? The problem with breaking away is you have to have something better set up. And people will say, well, what about the CFP? Well, that's not a big enough operation. Well, what about the they don't want it, by the way. What about the people that are like approving these things, the college, whatever that stuff is, the people that approve the NIL deals? Is college something go, whatever that is? No, they're not. They can, they're overwhelmed right now trying to approve these fake NIL deals. All right. There's nobody to take it over. There's got to be somebody. You don't have a commissioner. You don't have there seems to, I don't think they would really love trying to operate without some kind of governing body, as bad as this governing body has been. All right, let's do some Pete Souza. Let's do it next.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
If I had somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Allen Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they take, they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Everybody at Ecolife really has a passion and a real interest in helping people feel well. How much further can we go to get you feeling even better? It is a complete partnership between the two of us.
What if you could clean clean? With bio-based formulas and deep cleaning enzymes. No dyes, phthalates, or mystery ingredients. Just powerful pods for your dishes and laundry. Now you can, with drops made clean, made to clean.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NordVPN.com.
It is the Mosley Show. It's a Mosley Show running on fumes, 2 straight days of no sleep. It's an experiment I'm doing, but it's okay. It's okay. So far, I can't even really tell the difference from days I actually do get sleep. Pete Souza is kind enough as he travels the country to hop on with us now. And Pete has landed in the land of Birmingham. He's picked up like a smoothie.
No, it's Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. What is and Pete, what I'd like to do is also ask some of the people at the Chick-fil-A to come on, and maybe even some of the workers there. Great to be with you. You never know where you'll find Pete. Pete's in Birmingham, getting ready to call a basketball tournament, and he'll do a great job on that. In fact, I was already going to watch it because I've got one team that one of the coaches is a great buddy of mine. Yeah, if you do get a Jacobs game, and they've had a struggle this year, please tell him, you and I are buddies, because he's a great friend, and he and I are on a group text. Although when they keep losing, I can't really get on there and make jokes, because then you got to wait a day or two before you can do jokes and stuff. What's your go-to at the Chick-fil-A, by the way?
Just a number one. A number one, it's just simple. I know what I want. No sauces. You can always eat it on the go. And I try not to supersize it. I try to just keep it in the fair way. Hey, how come you can? I'm really curious. How come you can't sleep? What's going on?
Oh, okay. So my soon to be 103-year-old grandmother had a new pacemaker put in. I don't think normally people this old, they just are like, well, if she's run out of battery, we don't really, she's kind of expired, right? And but this grandmother I have just continues to soldier on. One doctor told us at age 90 when she had breast cancer, it was like, no, if it were my mom, I wouldn't do anything about it. We're like, well, this is a tank. So we fought it, and she fought it, and she's still here. And anyway. Right. So I spent the night at the hospital last night, and to say she was agitated is putting it mildly. She was not having a great night, which caused me to not have a great night. So I was staying with my grandmother overnight, so my mom could be with other family members and stuff like that. And then the night before, my daughter was getting up to go to spring break trip, and they were leaving at 4:30 in the morning to go to Florida. And so I probably slept from 2 in the morning till 4:30 to get up and get her gone.
Gotcha.
So, it has not.
Did she get? I just got a new I actually had a malfunction with my pacemaker recently, and they had to take it out and put a new one in. This is like this is January. I mean, they almost thought about not putting mine in. So good on your grandmother.
How long have you had that one?
I got it in 2021.
Okay.
And it went into a default mode. It went into safe mode. Something triggered it. Something happened. And I was going for a jog. This is a true story. I've never told this. Like, I was going for a jog in Provo the day of the game, and it shocked me to the point where I hit the deck.
Oh,
I got up and it shocked me again.
Oh, my.
And so I was kind of dazed and confused. I went back to the hotel. I sat down. I was like, all right, I'm going to, because I'm an idiot. I was like, I'm going to call this game. And the moment I get back to Texas, I'm going to go to the pacemaker clinic. And I did. And they told me that it had gone into safety mode, that Boston Scientific. So they immediately took it out. Yeah.
Buddy, I think you're so fortunate that.
Oh, man.
Think about if it had happened during the broadcast or something. And
well, it was because I was jogging. And
it was exercise induced. Yeah.
It had stopped it. It had the safety mode. And then we'll get to sports, I promise. The safety mode put my heartbeats per minute down to 150. So once I got around 150, boom, it shocked me. So now I'm back to normal, whatever that is.
Yeah. Okay. And what's weird to me is most technology has gotten better and better over the years. I would think they would make a pacemaker that would last like 20 years, but they still seem like after about, 8 to 10, you need a replacement, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. A new battery or something like that. Yeah.
I had hoped we would kind of talk pacemakers today. By the way, it's so funny that you're doing this tournament. I was talking to Kevin Connors earlier today. We were trying to figure out how he could be on the show because he's doing the Big 12 tournament. And by the way, in ESPN's Infinite Wisdom, he's going to, he usually does the whole thing, right? And is like the on-site host or whatever. And after Thursday's games, they're packing him up and flying him back to Bristol. And then they'll send in game day. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's been a lot. The Big 12 being so good this year has changed some things at ESPN because game day is going to be there. There was like a ripple effect from that. But yeah, I mean, Connors even said it. I watched them come on the air at halftime because I watched the Baylor game. And, I know it's a Big 12 broadcast and there's a partnership with ESPN. But Kevin Connors, I see as kind of like diplomatic, but still elite in the ESPN orbit. And the first thing he says is, this is the best conference in college basketball. No question, which I was like, good on him.
Well, Baylor today loses to Arizona State. They did the thing where they got it to 3 with about 5-6 minutes left and caused some excitement and then faded down the stretch and then had one of those, what they do better than any team in America is about with like a minute 42 left, down by 10, they'll put one of those wild things together, but it was not enough to overcome. And Pete, I know you were flying, so I'll just tell you, this season has mercifully come to an end. My preference would be say no to the NIT. Scott doesn't always operate like that, and Scott is an extremely gracious person, and he might see the NIT as a way to try to keep the guys together a little bit longer. I don't know, but I'm really hoping.
I do not think they will go to the NIT. And I love the NIT. I'll call in. I mean, I'm sorry, I just got a phone call here, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good.
I love the NIT, but I don't think Baylor's going to do it. I just don't think. I think that they'll opt for one of those like the Crown, and then it comes down to what's Tunde going to do, what's Cameron Carr going to do. Like, there's still an outside pot. They're really trying to keep Cam Carr, and I think there's a dialogue there. I mean, I know if he were to come back, he would go to Baylor. I couldn't imagine anywhere else he would go. And the first round is so loaded that maybe it would behoove him. And especially even the way he played today and the way I had the game on Saturday. as you well know, 2021 national championship, folks.
It's okay. It's okay. No, nobody ever knew but me. Yeah.
And everybody else. But I feel like they're talking to Cam Carr about coming back. And although that might be a long shot, I think that would be amazing if they could get him to stay. But there is a conversation there that says, hey, man, you stick with us. I mean, his draft stock improved incredibly this year under Scott Drew. They're still going to have two guys go in the first round if he and Tunde both go into the draft. So they're doing something right over there.
I mean, you say you think for sure he would come back to Baylor. I think after what happened to Rob Wright, I think we'd be wrong to assume anything. I mean, I think if I don't know what his agent's like, but I mean, the BYUs of the world would come in and pay him enormous money. So I do think Baylor's going to have to make sure they take care of him, and I think they will. I think they certainly, as you noted, have the inside track. I find it interesting that Tunde, and y'all noted it the other day, some of these draft things he's showing up at like late in the draft and late in the first round. I mean, it would be unbelievable to have those guys back. But separate of that, and I think they'll probably lose Tunde to the draft for sure. They have got to get the evaluation process right, Pete. And the one thing, and I don't know if Cam's brought this up or what you've heard, but the one thing I can tell you is the person they're going after to help them with the evaluation process and would help them as a coach on the bench is a big-time guy. And I think and I'm not talking about Jerome Tang or anything like that. I think it would help. Baylor has now had 2 years of whiffing on two major NIL guys, and they have got to get this right. And,
I think
ultimately,
I think you're spot on. I think that it might be like Back to the Future in a sense where the championship team in 2021, they didn't have a guy in that class, or they didn't have a player on the team who was ranked higher than 50 in their class, right? Like as far as like rankings are concerned. And, those are the kind of guys that like you can build a program with that will stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And even in today's college basketball, I think that you can still find a group of guys and build a program, truthfully, with like 3-star guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that we could see Baylor return to that. And I think that could be the winning formula because and I know this from working closely with King McClure, and King told me this, I think 2 years ago, but he brought up the acronym JOY, Jesus, others, yourself. And he's like, I haven't, that is something that the program and that Baylor had so much success that based upon that mindset and great players, right? But there is a way to fuse the two of them together. And I know that they want to do that, but it's just kind of figuring, and even like, I talked to a guy on my show today from Kansas City, right? Harold Kuntz, he's a sports guy there. And we were talking a lot about Kansas basketball. And it reminded me of something I went over earlier this year when I called a Kansas game. Bill Self was like, man, like he whiffed on portal guys, and finally this year he got it right with Melvin Council and Trey White. And he's like almost been re-energized, and so has the team. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's no debating the fact that like something has to get fixed here. And is it talent evaluation? Is it going back to what I just talked about, that type of blueprint? Can you do it in today's college basketball? There are certain people who I talk to around the game who know a lot, who think you still can at a power 4 or 5 level, whatever the heck you call it now.
Yeah. I think what we have to do is call this year what it was.
Yeah.
And not call it an aberration, call it a disaster. By Baylor standards,
I would not call it a disaster.
Oh, it was a disaster. It was a
disaster is like off the court stuff. I don't know.
No. I've seen that. I'm talking about. I'm just talking about on the court.
Yeah,
I can show you a disaster, but from a Baylor basketball program, I mean, by their standards, this was a very embarrassing season. And I was happy to see it come to an end. What is the Crown? I don't even know I didn't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so it's a tournament. It's a tournament in Las Vegas. It's from, I think, April 1st to the 4th or 5th. Maybe it's longer than that, but it's slotted. I think Fox puts it on with some group in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money involved for the players. If you win the tournament, you win money. And the way that the Crown works is they do it. It's like power conference teams. And like the first two that don't make it get an invite. And if they were declined, then they go down the list. That's how I remember.
Yeah. I think I would just turn everything down is the way I would do this. Hey, Pete.
Well, in today's college basketball, to your point, like when I was a kid growing up, I can remember, Villanova won the NIT in 1994. Why was that a big deal? Because they brought back like 9 of those guys, and it's a chance for those guys to keep playing together and to experience success together. Now it's like, we just won the NIT. Everybody goes their separate ways. So
you're right.
I think some of the intrigue and stuff you can build on is gone.
Scott had a great NIT run with like Lace Darius Dunn and some of those guys. And I was at the NFL owners meetings at some unbelievable place, maybe in California or wherever I was. And I was like, all the NFL people were making fun of me because I was so into the NIT. They're like, you want to go out tonight? I'm like, I got to go somewhere where they have the game. What game? The NIT. I've got to go watch the NIT. And all my NFL buddies were making fun of that. All right, I'm going to let you get running here in a minute because you got places to be. In Birmingham, I think might be an underrated city. So maybe I'm hoping you get you get a nice meal. I think that's one of the very underrated restaurant city, I might add. But who did you like? Who did you like NFL free agency? Did any of those under the radar moves? Cowboys basically just, N'Kobe Dean, all these people, we thought Christian Parker, but because of his hire, the Cowboys would just get everybody. And apparently the whole world wants to play for the Raiders, okay? Because Mark Davis is such a great owner, right? And they all want to go play for the Raiders. But because you are more Eagles.
I think I'll tell you right now. I think that this is like not a exciting answer. Maybe it is. I think the Ravens won. I think Max Crosby makes them a lot better. I really do. And I think that I guess they lost their center this morning to the Raiders and another who people are calling key components. But look, we're in a world where there's a reason why those guys get paid so much. I mean, we saw it in the Super Bowl. If you can rush the passer with 4 guys, you can kick your opponent's ass. I mean, that's a fact. And the more and more teams try to do that and the premium is put on edge rushers, there's only a handful of, Max Crosby's out there and Micah Parsons out there. And I think that is a huge move because it's not like a lot of times, even Micah got hurt. I think the Packers would have gone further had he not gotten hurt. I think that position is such a moneymaker. I really do.
Well, Reed Blankenship goes to Houston on I don't know if you saw this as you were flying or whatever, but 3-year, $24 million deal. And the Cowboys are out like paying random Cardinals. And I think this Jalen Thompson is not a bad player. But the Cowboys and others are like, 3 years, $36 million. Texans get it done with Reed Blankenship for 3 years, $24 million. Pete, isn't this guy a good player? I feel like Reed Blankenship is really good.
He's a rock solid player, rock solid starter, contributor. Pretty cool. Great stuff.
I think white guys have to sign lower contracts.
You're crazy.
I just thought the Cowboys, I don't know. Do you have any thought on Rashawn Gary? who they got they got the edge rusher from the Packers who comes over to the Cowboys. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think it makes the Cowboys better. I really do. And it goes back to the same reason I was talking. You've got a defense who has struggled the past 2 years greatly, and you lost your best pass rusher. You need somebody who can get after the quarterback. I think there's no question about that. So it's a good move on them. Is it going to change, the entire center of gravity or move it for the Cowboys? No. But, the Cowboys look, I know they're disappointing, but they were pretty good last year. What about, I can't believe the Dak thing with his, I mean, that's a huge story with his fiance, them splitting up. As a guy, I'm getting married in June. That was a heartbreaker for me.
That's why.
Why would you take, by the way, this co-bachelor and bachelorette parties?
No.
That is so silly. That's like one of those TV shows like Love Island or Love is Blind. They set that stuff up. They set that stuff up so it's combustible. You usually don't do it under your own willingness.
No.
God bless him, though.
No, yeah, I know, and I'm hoping your fiance doesn't get any ideas off that deal.
I know. I got to keep it quiet.
The initial thing was it was a prenup deal, but now they're saying it wasn't that. And I love how America.
I read the New York Post. It said that it didn't. There was no allegations of absolute infidelity. It said that he had still been in communication with a lot of exes, and he put together like a burner account where he was still messaging women. So if that's the truth, honestly, that's the most unstable thing that Dak's ever done, which says a lot about him. He's been so steady as a guy. So it is really surprising.
I did think it led to some pretty good Twitter jokes, I will say, and maybe it was in poor taste, but the stuff about him getting, how it happened, when he got close to a ring or something, they knew they knew it would blow up.
Oh my God, that's pretty good. That's good.
I saw the joke and I thought I could pep it up. I thought I could take the joke and write it a little different way, but I don't do that. I don't lift jokes like some comedians do out there. Pete, thank you for doing this. Get you another 4-piece or like an 8-piece to go. And by the way, the pimento cheese chicken sandwich is my favorite when they're doing that at Chick-fil-A. Okay. They put some pimento on there, and that really takes it to a different level. Tell all my friends from FAU High and have a great call. All right, we'll be excited to see you.
All right,
all right, Pete Souza. I mean, it's pretty good there. It's pretty good there just to be in the restaurant, just sitting there in the Chick-fil-A. Kev, what's your Chick-fil-A? Do you get the nuggets? Are you kind of like a little kid? Or do you get the spicy chicken fried sandwich? Do you get the grilled sandwich? Or do you get like a weird salad or something? What do you go with?
I like to keep an open mind to many different choices. And so I will be about all of those. What I have tried to do now that I am working out and take care of my body more is go more grilled toward stay away from the fries and go to the granola yogurt parfait. That is my main kind of switch over choice. And then maybe go nuggets, a little less bread.
Wow. That is the parfait. The parfait is an interesting choice. By the way, Micah Parsons, we were just talking about Micah. Didn't you like that Pete was kind of into that? Pete was kind of into he had some theories on things. Kev, look real quick at Rappaport or Schefter as we wrap up today. The Brazos Landing, of course, will be there next Wednesday. What I was wondering is if Micah was going to address this, but excuse me. I'm sorry. We were talking about Dak a minute ago. I don't know why I was saying Micah. This is interesting. Talking about Dak's marriage situation, but Pete, I thought, had some interesting things to add on that one. Micah is getting heavily involved on Twitter when it comes to sacks and that's very interesting. It says somebody asked him, if you could only pick one trait, skill to evaluate edge talent, what would it be and why? Micah Parsons says pursuit and effort. Then he asked the question 2 hours ago, like, what makes a player a hit or miss for an organization? Genuinely asking. Somebody said, I don't think it's true at all. Quay Walker was a miss as a first-round pick, but Romeo Dobbs was a home run fourth-round pick. Inagbray was a home run fifth. Micah says, I think any player hitting a second contract is successful to me. Business is business. I had 3 All-Pros and still ain't get paid by the team that drafted me. Woo! Man, he is still eating up. Doesn't matter that he got the enormous money. The Jerry and the Cowboys thing eats Micah Parsons up. And it still is amazing that both Micah, and of course, at least they got something for Micah. I mean, the Luka trade was an embarrassment and literally the worst trade ever. The Micah trade may end up, someday we may say it's a horrible trade, but at least for now, the trade is still in play. And it's still in play that the Cowboys could do okay in that trade. The Luka trade had no hope from the start and had even less hope than that as we saw it play out in a very embarrassing fashion. And the person you traded for is already gone. All right. And the fact that you got Cooper Flag does not make the trade okay. That's just a flat out luck out situation. All right, Kev, any last minute things to add? Any sort of last minute free agent news you want to pass along?
Your Cowboys freed up from cap space by restructuring Kenny Clark. Freed up about a little over $2 million.
All right.
So they did that, and that.
Ooh, I did like this one. I did like, because this is a former Cowboys player. Bears defensive back Nahshon Wright is signing with the Jets. You know, Nahshon Wright was with the Cowboys and pretty good draft pick. I mean, he was, I'm trying to remember what, I thought he was like third day pick, maybe. I'd have to think about that one. Anyway, ends up going to the Bears and being really good on the Bears last year, signs with the Jets, getting a 1-year, $5.5 million max deal. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me the thin line between these 3-year, $40 million deals on a DB and then another DB who I promise you is pretty dang good, getting 1 year, $5.5 million. It's very, very interesting to me to watch how all that plays out. The other one is the free agent safety P.J. Locke, Broncos, signing with the Cowboys on a 1-year deal worth $5 million. Another safety added to Dallas. That will help depth. They want players who are versatile. The fact is, Thompson, who they just brought in from the Cardinals, can move over and play nickel. And so in that case, of course, P.J. Locke could be out there as a safety. That's a 1-year deal worth $5 million. Kev, P.J. Locke. Let's look up P.J. Locke's numbers real quick and see what the Cowboys. So the Cowboys trying to get involved. This is a 29-year-old player, P.J. Locke, and let me look real quick. See, oh, come on. All right, hold on. P.J. Locke, I'm looking at all his years. He's been at Denver his whole career. And let's see. Over his career there, 11 pass breakups, 5 forced fumbles. It started 26 games. He started 15 games 2 seasons ago for Denver at strong safety. And The guy has one interception in his whole career. I wanted to see how many tackles he had. All right. Well, here we go. So, okay, here we go. 110 tackles that year. He started all the games. He had 74 tackles, 50 solo. Okay, that's good. That's good. Has had 7 TFLs in his career. Okay, nothing here suggests, oh my gosh, but who knows? Who knows? 29-year-old veteran who could help them, and I would imagine over the years has played special teams. I'd be shocked if he hasn't. I was trying to see if he had any sacks over the years. 4 sacks, 4 career sacks. One year he had 3 sacks. In his 2 best years seem to be 23 and 24. He comes to the Cowboys 1 year, $5 million. Kev, I'm glad I looked. We had a Cowboys deal get done in the final stages of our show. All right. We'll try to keep you posted on everything. We appreciate it. Strong Mosley Show again today. Got a big one lined up tomorrow. Show starts at 1 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow.
Central National Bank, this is Nikki. How may I help you?
Yes, can you please transfer me to the loan department?
You want to transfer?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, you can't transfer right now.
What?
Have a good day. Yes, how may I help you?
Hi, I would like to transfer money from my C&B account to another bank.
Absolutely not. No. Have a great day.
Wait, hold.
I'm on your website and I'm trying to find the link for your payment portal.
The portal is currently unavailable. Have a great day.
We've received a few complaints.
Correct. We no longer allow any outgoing transfers, only incoming.
But the good news is, no money is leaving the bank. Like, none. Good job.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Better sleep, inspired by nature. Your back, hips, and shoulders will fall into perfect alignment in any position, meaning that you get deeper, more comfortable rest. Visit ecoterrabeds.com.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.